still in Stuttgart at the Invest, and with me is Mr. Jim Robertson from Primary Metals Inc. Welcome, Jim.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. Jim, tell us something about Primary Metals. What is your main area of work?
Primary Metals is a very interesting company. It is in operation in Portugal, producing tungsten. Our mine there is called the Penasqueira mine, and it has been actually in operation for 100 years. But it is still producing tungsten, and who knows, maybe it's going to be in operation for another 100 years. Tungsten is a very interesting metal. Not many people know a lot about it, but tungsten is used in the form of carbide material because it's very, very hard, and it's used for drilling and cutting steels and other metals. It's also used as an alloying agent in steel, and it's used for materials such as turbine blades, also for electrical contacts. It has a very, very high melting point, and it is actually as heavy as gold, so it's a very heavy metal as well. Most of the tungsten in the world is actually produced in China, which also uses just about everything they produce and upgrades it to finished products, which of course then are sold to the rest of the world. So there's not a lot of tungsten that's been produced outside China. And we are one of the very, very few mines that produces tungsten that you can buy shares in, and we have been profitable for the last 2 or 3 years. Tungsten price increased quite dramatically a couple of years ago, and that has sort of really helped our operation and allowed us to put it into the best possible shape to keep it going for many, many years.
So that is a solid cash flow you have
Yes,
there?
it has a very good cash flow, and that gives us enough funds. We haven't needed to go out for financing. It gives us enough funds to put in new equipment for our mine, to do further exploration on some of our projects that I can tell you about in a minute. And basically, it gives a good opportunity for investors to participate in a very solid, smaller operation. We trade on the Toronto Stock Exchange, Venture Exchange, and also we are quoted in Frankfurt as well. Our share price is about €1.80 equivalent, and we think that given the prospects that the company has, that it's a very good investment opportunity. We certainly hope so.
Okay, this is why you're here.
Absolutely.
So tell us something about the exploration projects then.
Well, in addition to our tungsten operations, and we do produce a very beautiful tungsten concentrate from, actually this is the mineral, this is wolframite. It's a very heavy mineral. And it is...
Oh, yes, it is. Okay, it looks a lot lighter.
And we produce a very high-grade concentrate. That's one of the highest-grade concentrates actually in the world, so it has always been in great demand. But in addition to tungsten and our wolframite activities, we also have about 15 kilometers away from our mine, we have a very, very large tin deposit. We have the rights to the Argimela tin deposit. And that deposit has historical resources of some 77 million tons at 0.06% tin, and that would be an open pit operation.
When will you confirm those?
Well, the thing is that at the time that this was done, tin price was not very high, and one of the things is that you have to look at the economics, of course, for a mine before you take it into production. So we're looking at that, and it seems to us, we've looked at all of the information. The assays that were done for the tin historically were only done for oxide tin in the form of cassiterite, because that was the mineral that everybody knew. But in addition to that, in this deposit there is also a sulfide tin mineral, stannite, which is kind of interesting, and our very, very preliminary work, that's only an indication, but it looks as though the grade actually might be 30% higher in total tin. And if that's the case, obviously that adds to the economics.
You just released the news release.
That news release is just out today, yes. And I think that combined with the fact that we also have some lithium possibilities, we have some higher grade areas probably within that deposit, makes it very interesting and certainly worthwhile looking at as a potential large producer of tin for the future. So that really is something that could take the company to another level that we already hold. We have a gold project up in northern Portugal, up near Porto, that is showing some quite interesting high-grade values and some quite interesting potential. It's something that could, if it works out, it could be brought into operation quite quickly, and that would add to the cash flow for the company. But there's still work
So
that
you
needs to
are
be
planning
done.
on the projects you explore. You are planning on producing them yourself, not selling them, but.
No, that's certainly. I mean, certainly for the gold project, it is a size and it's a type of operation. Because we're an underground mine at Panasqueira, it's something that we could probably handle very well. A major deposit at Argimelo for the tin, we would have to look at how we handle that, and we might well consider the possibility of joint venture with a major company or another company. So all of those options are open, but certainly we're quite happy in going forward with the exploration activities ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's it's an interesting approach. All of those projects are in Portugal. We have small gold production possibilities. We have a very large tin potential ahead of us, and of course we have our operating tungsten mine.
Very solid operating. Yeah,
Yes,
solid
yes,
mine.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what are your plans for this year? I mean, are you going to explore this tin property?
Yeah,
What is the plan for?
this coming year, as far as our Panasqueira mine itself is concerned, we're certainly looking at improving the efficiencies and the earnings from the operations. We've put a lot of money into developments, and we now are looking at having enough development phases open so that we can be selective in our mining. We have reserves, as I mentioned, for the next 8 or 14 years that are based on a 43-101 resource estimate.
Okay.
And the grade of that material in the resource estimate is around 0.23 or 0.24% tungsten trioxide, which, as we move toward that level, will certainly mean that the profitability and the earnings for our operation will increase. So we're looking at making sure that our Panasqueira tungsten mine is put in the best operating shape and the most profitable operating shape. The activities for our tin project, we will continue to assess the possibility of there being more tin in there than had been previously recognized, into the metallurgy and the marketing of those products, and also the possibility of lithium, which is in that deposit and adds potentially to the value of that deposit. So we will be continuing work in that regard. We are currently doing some drilling at our Argimelo tin project, and also indeed at our gold project. We are drilling and we are channel sampling some of the underground workings and looking at some of this high-grade gold material that's in the deposit. So there's a lot of interesting things, I think, that are going to be coming up in the next few months. And yeah, we think we've got a very exciting year ahead of us.
Good. So you must have a really good team of geologists working for you. Can you tell us something about them? I mean,
Well, first of all, our team of managers at our Panasqueira mine, we're very fortunate because not many of us are very good at speaking Portuguese, but we're very fortunate that they have a good command of the English language, and also they have a very good command of the skills that are required for their operations at Portugal. We have technical directors, financial directors, and also geologists that we have retained, a couple of geologists that we have hired, and a consultant that works for us about 3/4 of the time as well. In addition to that, we also bring in consultants generally from Canada who are very experienced in geology and in exploration. And in fact, we had Canadian consultants that have done our recent National Instrument 43-101 compliant. It all sounds very technical, but the reserve calculation that we need to do. So they are from Vancouver, that's Orquest Consultants. So yes, we bring in people that we need to get the job done properly.
Okay, so we're looking really at a very solid company with a lot of new opportunities coming up.
We are indeed, and I think that we're trying to do the right thing and make sure that we give the shareholders the best opportunity, that we have a mine that is going to be in operation for a long time, and that we have some opportunities that add some blue sky to the company and some excitement.
Yeah.
And as we move forward, we hope that they're going to develop positively and show a good financial return to the bottom line.
That sounds great. Thank you very much, Jim.
Well, thank you very much. It's been my pleasure. Thank you.